It's Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station, Hot 107.9 at home for the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Of course, you know it's your folk behind radio shouting, man. Stepping in the building, man. I got my Texas partner in this thing. Stak, Fine, Steven, Jackson. What good with it, my dog?
What they talking about, man? Back on Hot 107.9, you dig? The Stak 5 once again. Shout out to my brother Mazi, my brother Twin. What it do?
I mean, let's get straight to it, man. Real I Remain.
Say,
with
man.
that boy Mazi. I mean, how did this tape come about?
Well, Mazi had became good friends with my little brother Suwu, and he ended up being at the house while I was out of town. So when I moved back, to Atlanta, he was already recording at the crib.
Okay.
So I think me and Mazi are kind of one and the same. We both real family oriented. We'll both put our lives on the line for our homies.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We those type of brothers, so we connected. And the music speaks. The music shows that, our connection. And once we got in the studio, it was you could tell it was a blessing because it wasn't nothing forced.
That's right.
Everything happened. We was in there doing our thing, having a good time.
Yeah.
And the music came out great. All thanks to God.
I can definitely dig that. Now, I mean, what caught me off the rip, man, when I popped the tape in and I was jamming. That $100 million, that boy Twin on the hook, man. I mean, tell me the vibe in the studio when y'all dropped that thing and how that came about.
Well, first, it all started with my little cousin, shout out to June James, Hit Cartel, Houston's best producer, the best young producer in the country right now.
Yeah.
He played a beat and we was just sitting in there, man, and we was like, what is this? You know what I mean? And it turned into me writing and to Twin Land vocals, and it came, it's just something special. Everybody, if you have goals, you got to dream of getting money. So why not set the highest goal? And that's $100 million.
That's right.
And we want it falling out of our pockets. We don't just want it in the bank. We just don't want it sitting down. We want it in our pockets. We want to live life, and that's what we talking about.
I mean, but $100 million on Pump 5, though, Stak. I mean, what made you have to haul off and hit him with that, though, man?
People talking a lot, man, and numbers don't lie, man. A lot of boys, they looking weak, their pockets looking broke. So I want $1 million on Pump 5 because their pockets looking weak. They don't eat, man.
Ooh,
fill them up.
I can definitely dig that. Now, I mean, tell me about the love for the music, man. I know you've been hooping. I mean, you tore up the NBA for years, but I mean, you're down with the music though now. What made you make that transition? Well,
I think, I've been doing it for 10 plus years now. And like I said, my first time actually recording was with Pow Wow back in 2003. And, it's a passion of mine. I love it. I approach it the same way I approach basketball. If I approach that, then I'm approaching this with all heart. Yeah. And this is something that I love doing, and I'm starting to get great at it.
That's right.
And it's not just by me saying, it's by my people and my peers and the people around me. So I'm doing something great, man. It's something I love doing. It's an opportunity for me to open doors for my brothers too. That's trying to do this. That's trying to live their first dream.
Yeah.
So and that's really my main goal. But it's happening, man. We here now.
I know you done did a lot of collabs, man. I mean, my brother Rocco, man.
Shout out
tell
Rocco.
me about that. How that relationship came about.
Man, Rocco is. That's one of those guys that I will never have a bad word to say about. That's one of the realest people I ever met, man. When I was first coming out with a mixtape, him and my homeboy T Ferris was real cool. And he flew Rocco down to my house. Yeah. And I remember Rocco sitting in in the studio. We was trying to come up with a song. He was just looking out because I got a nice crib. He was like, "Look at the view, look at the view." And I was just saying how talented, how easy he make it look. But Rocco, man, he helped me get a Future song. Yeah. And he also helped me get a song called Gumbo that I put out with T.I. and Jeezy. That's right. So shout out to Rocco, man. A lot of my biggest songs he helped me get, man. And I owe a lot to him. I
mean, but I know you also got down with Face, man.
That's a legend, man. Like,
talk to me.
You know what? I got to bow to the mic when I speak about Scarface, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a legend in his own, man. Just for how he took me in and how he respected me. I think Face is probably the biggest artist I've worked with and the only artist when I was in the studio, he talked to me like a rapper. He didn't talk to me about basketball. We talked about real life stuff and music. And that's why we got so many songs together. And he don't work with everybody. Yeah. So to have that respect by a guy like Brad Jordan, Scarface, you know what I mean? I know I'm doing something right, and that's stuff. The times with him and being in the studio with him, I cherish those moments. That's priceless.
Already. Now, I mean, during those times, I mean, you was always a controversial player and a controversial rapper and a controversial man. Yeah. I mean, you dropped that stuff on Donald Sterling, man.
Yeah. That was tough. I mean, when I did that song, I knew my NBA career was over. And I'm thankful for the 13 years I played in the NBA. I'm thankful for the championship I won. I'm thankful for the $70 million I made. Yeah. But at the same time, I wasn't gonna be in a business where it's racism going on and I work in this business, and I not say nothing. That's just not me. So, you know, I had to say something. I made a song, "America the Beautiful," me and Scarface, speaking on the issue. And you know, I was cool with not being able to play in the NBA again. You know, I mean, they don't dictate my life. You know, I'm guard protected. God has written my life, and not no NBA commissioner or no coaches. Yeah. So you know, I stepped out on the limb. I got balls. I always had. Yeah. So I stepped out on the limb and made a song about the pig. You know what I'm saying? He was racist. He shouldn't have said what he said. Point blank. And I dealt with it. I'm still here. I'm still living good. You know what I mean? Don't worry about Stak. He doing fine. You know, I mean, you know, I'm on my music thing. Shout out to the NBA.
Speaking of the racism and the political stuff, man, I mean, Baltimore.
Oh, man.
It's on fire as we speak. I mean, people up there, you know, they rioting, they protesting, they trying to make some noise, you know, to stop the police from unjustly killing unarmed black men, you know.
You know, I'm glad you asked me that, because it sucks to see how many black men getting killed these days, but at the same time, man, you know, I think it's gonna be harder for us to defend ourselves and to speak if they declare martial law. Yeah. We can't lose that. We can't win that way. Yeah. So I think if we do stuff like that, you know, we all have emotions. We all do stuff and do like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. So we gotta understand that, but at the same time, you know, we gotta try to do something now, so our kids 20, 30 years from now won't be burning down their neighborhoods. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I think if they see us doing that, then 20 years from now they still gonna be doing it. So some type of way we gotta figure out how we can stand up and do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to go punch people too, and I'm not even related to these people getting killed, because you know what I'm saying, I have kids. You know what I'm saying? I have young homeboys, but at the same time, it's a way to do it. You know, everybody know me. I've been in shootouts in real life. It's documented. I've been in fights in the Brawl. You know, I'm with the BS. But at the same time, it needs to be done right when it's not personal. We talking about a whole race of people. We talking about a whole class of people. We're not just talking about one or two people. You know what I mean? So to do that, that's kind of selfish. To go out there and burn stuff down, because like you say, it's still people that you care about that live in those neighborhoods you burning down. Exactly. So it's a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm all for the Bloods and Crips uniting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the biggest Bloods ever. But at the same time, they got to do it right. You know what I'm saying? Don't tap your own community, man, and make it harder on you. I think they got a black mayor. You know what I'm saying? So you're making it hard on her. You putting her in a bad spot. So you know what I'm saying? It's goods and bads I'd ever be, but you know, I love standing up, but stand up the right way. You know what I mean?
Are we gonna hear any of that in the music though, Stak?
It's in there. I mean, one thing about it, I got some on Instagram today. Some dude told me Stak 5, man. I got the mixtape I'm listening to right now. One thing I like about it, you don't talk about nothing you don't do in real life. Everything you say, we can see it on your Instagram, and we can see it when we see you in person. Because I've never been that guy, B. I've always stood on being real. You know, I remember one thing I took. You know, I've always been real, but I remember when Steve Nash, NBA player, 2-time MVP, he told me my rookie year, you know, ain't nothing wrong with keeping it real, but sometimes keep it right. So I know how to keep it real and keep it right at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for that talent, for that blessing. You know what I mean? And I try to do that.
Now, speaking of that time in the NBA, I ain't get a chance to ask you about this the last time we talked. But when you had to run in them stands and throw them hands, man, I mean, what was going through your mind at that time?
You know what? Growing up in Port Arthur, Texas, all you know is if you grow up with somebody, you call somebody your brother, wherever you at, y'all get it. If something go on, one of them get into it, we gonna get it on and we gonna deal with the consequences later. That's just how I was taught. So NBA wasn't ready for a guy like me. You know what I'm saying? It's 15, 20 of us in the arena with 30,000 people against us, screaming against us. If my teammate decided to go in the stand, my only thought, if you look at the tape, I didn't even think twice. I'm riding with you. We in here together. We winning this game together. You know, Ron wasn't smart by fouling Ben. The game was won. 45 seconds left. We had embarrassed them. You know, we was on our way to winning the championship. We was the best team in the league at that time. So Ron had no reason doing that. But when it got to the point where the guy threw the beer, it was everything was out the window. It was disrespect. You know, and I regret going into the stands. But don't get me wrong. I regret hitting the fan. But I don't regret being there for my teammate. I would never regret that. You know what I'm saying? I lost $3 million. I said in the song Spaz Out. $3 million because I knocked the fool in the 6th row out. They find me $3 million behind that for my brother, and I do it again. You dig what I'm saying? Because we made it out of there. We made it home safe. I was still able to have my job. You know, my life went on. But just imagine, he go, none of us go. They stumping him out. His career over. He paralyzed. How we gonna live like that? How we gonna look as NBA teammates for the rest of our career? That's how I looked at it.
I can dig that. Now, I mean, another question, being a stand-up guy, I mean, how have you been able to deal with the backlash? Because I know a lot of times you'll say you'll be in the club and they'll be acting up. You know, folks can't stand next to a real man doing what he doing real things.
Right. You know, B, I had to learn my lessons. You know, my whole life I've only been in 2 incidents.
Yeah.
The shootout strip club and the brawl.
Yeah.
I've never been in no trouble otherwise in my life. You know, I come from a city where I grew up was 8 sets of projects, 1 high school. So, you know what I'm saying? So I know how to avoid stuff. Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? And I have been. Yeah. I haven't, but, you know, it comes to a point where, you know, I keep great people around me that keep the BS away from me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't put myself in those positions no more, B. You know, it has intuition. Every grown man knows how to think. So you know when a situation is getting bad, or you know when you go somewhere, it's the possibility of something popping off. You know what I mean? I know where I should be and where I shouldn't be. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to know, you know what I'm saying? You got to know your area code, you got to know your dress code. Yeah. The earth is my turf, you know what I'm saying? But when I go to different cities, I'm not the type of guy that has pride not to call somebody in that city. Yeah. Nah, if whatever city I'm at, I call somebody there. That's out of respect. Yeah. Because I want somebody to know I'm in their city. That's out of respect. That's out being a real G. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I never have problems because I always check in when I'm in every city. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I expect people to do that when they in my city. Yeah.
Now when it comes to the music, man, gaining respect and letting folks know that you here, man. How's that situation been?
It's been a long road, B. Yeah. But it's been worth it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's been worth it because, you know, I'm here. This is my 2nd time here. Yeah. How many people been here? And I hoop. So I'm doing something right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm going to keep doing it. You know, I'm just thanking God. You know what I'm saying? I never had the quit attitude. You know what I'm saying? I believe in my music. The people starting to speak for it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you got to believe in yourself first. And I always believed in myself. That's why I had the balls to step out and do my music. You know, a lot of people say, but this dude crazy, leaving the NBA, all that money to do his music, all that stuff. You know what? That's your life. It's my life, not yours. You know what I'm saying? So I choose to do that. I got faith in God. I know God is not going to give me nothing I can't handle. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And it's been that way my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I know when he talking to me when it's time for me to change. I know when he talking to me when it's time for me to move on. You know what I'm saying? I've been here 10+ years. So he telling me something. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what are some of the obstacles that you feel like you face trying to come up in the game with the music? I think the hardest one is defining odds of me doing it just because I got bread. Yeah. Me being a basketball player. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think, you know, rappers can act. Rappers can do all this other stuff. Why athletes can't rap? Yeah. Is it a threat because most rappers come up trying to get money and I come in the game with 70? Yeah. Is that the threat? Well, don't blame me, blame God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame him, I thank him. For you know what I'm saying, for the gift. I mean, everybody's multi-talented. Find your other gift. You know what I mean? But don't just hate on me because I'm multi-talented. You know what I mean? I'm human just like everybody else, and that's what I'm knocking down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And really, it's to the point where I don't even hear it no more, B. Yeah. You know, I don't even hear he's a basketball player because I've been out the NBA 2 years now. I'm still riding in the Rolls Royce. I'm still rapping. I still got my own studio. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm still traveling with my homeboys. I'm still taking care of my kids. Yeah. You dig? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, can't nothing stop me but G.O.D.
I can dig that. Now, Real I Remain, man, the production on that thing is hard as hell.
Turn Me Up Josh, June the Genius, man. Shout out to my homeboy Mac GRC recording. My cousin Scoopy did some recording. Twin on it. Man, Mazi, man, shout out to Mazi, man. A lot of people don't know. Mazi been going through a lot, man, but he one of the realest people I ever met, man. I think, you know, a lot of people see him on Instagram and all that stuff, but if you listen to this music, man, he is definitely one of the most talented dudes in Atlanta, bro. Yeah. And I'm serious, bro. And not only is he talented, you ain't got to even ask him about is he certified in the streets, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It get real deep with him, but at the same time, I'm trying to bring out the music side because I know it's going to benefit him and his family. And when people love real music, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They love real street music. They love people that they can go to a city and know that this guy is living what he speak. Yeah. And Mize is that dude. So I'm really fighting for him and Twin, man, because I know those guys, they are a song away from blowing up.
Now, 70 mil deep in the game, I mean, what is it that makes you still keep it real? Because, you know, a lot of folks will see 70 mil and head for the hill.
Well, you know, I take it as a credit from Bootsy. Yeah. But see, me being smart, you know, me being in the streets all my life and being around guys who sold drugs stuff, I knew how to take care of money. I cherish money, but one thing I know, when you make 70 mil, it ain't 70. Yeah. That's cutting half off the rip. You got to understand that. So when I say 70 mil, that's cutting half, 30, 35. You dig what I'm saying? So you got to understand that. And when rappers say they making all this money, you got to understand that they don't count the taxes. So I know that, you know what I'm saying. So that 70 mil is cut in half off the rip before you even see it. But at the same time, what pushes me is I done lived my life. I'm thinking like Bootsy.
Yeah.
I done lived my life. I done put money away up. Now it's time for me to put money away for my kids can travel and do all the other stuff.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I respect Bootsy for that. You know what I mean? That's the same page I'm on. I done lived my life. I done done everything. You can't name one thing I haven't done, one car I haven't had. You know what I'm saying? I thank God for that. So at this point, I'm living for other people now.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? I'm a die doing that.
That's
I mean that with a passion. I'm living for everybody else at this point.
Shows, man. I mean, how's it out there performing them songs, man? I know you told me the other day you dropped that $100 million, man. I mean, they're trying to tell them. How was that, and what was the response to you out there,
Shout out
Stak?
to One Mic, man. Let me tell you this, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people get real surprised when I get on there because I'm a big basketball player, big tall dude. How you gonna do it? I'm running out there.
Yeah.
I embrace that because that's what I love to do. You can see the passion. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not shying away from it, man. You know, I've been getting more and more shows by the day, and I'm just humble about it because, you know, I can't wait till I get that one show B where I walk out there like Boosie did on the video.
Yeah.
I keep saying Boosie because, you know what I'm saying, I just seen the video and he, you know what I'm saying, I love what he's saying, I love what he's doing.
Yeah.
I love his story, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
The boy walk out to the stage and just stand there and see about 50,000 screaming his name and flashing his lights, all his hard work from going to jail, from everything he's been through in his life to that feeling, for me being a basketball player to breaking both of my feet, to trying out for 17 NBA teams and getting cut, you know what I'm saying, to being disrespected. I should have made the All-Star game, never made it my whole career, to all this stuff going on in my career, being fined by $6 million, to be able, after all this, to be successful and to be able to walk on the stage and there's 30,000 people sitting there trying to hear my music. I can't wait to that feeling. That's what I'm doing it for.
I can definitely dig that.
That's what I'm doing it for.
Stak, what's next for you though, my dog?
Man, just keep grinding this music, trying to keep gaining respect in this music game and pushing harder for Secret Society Entertainment, pushing harder for ODM and 100 Gang, man, Mazi and Twin, man. I got some young guys coming up out of my hometown, the original trio, Port Arthur, Texas, B-Lean, Chi, and Messiah. I'm fighting for them. And like I said, I'm trying to make it happen for my homies. I can't stop. I'm keep going. This music is our main focus. I got a movie coming out, let me say that,
Talk to me.
called Candy.
Yeah.
With Boomtown. It's like a female set it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a female set it off. It's my first movie I produced with Boomtown out of Houston, and just be looking for it, man. Coming soon.
I mean, any other things on the small screen, big screen that we need to be looking out for too, though?
I'm still doing my commentating. You know, one thing about it, you know, I can't see myself. I'm not one of those guys that let the NBA put me in the box.
That's right.
You know, so I'm not gonna stand in no commentating line. You know, it's a million players standing in that commentating line. It's a million players standing there trying to get a coach line. If the opportunity comes, I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not standing in no line to do it.
Yeah.
Because people want to hear what I got to say.
That's
I
right.
don't go up there and give the politically correct answer. I don't go up there and say, yeah, he should have. No, he shouldn't have shot it. He's terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say that. People want to hear that. You know what I mean? So I've been getting invited on a lot of shows. Shout out to Bill Simmons.
Yeah.
He going to have me back. Shout out to Fox, ESPN. They all have me on. So I do that all the time, too. I do my motivational speaking. I got to tell y'all that because people always think I'm out here doing crazy stuff. I did my motivational speaking 2 days after I left with my boy Hot Rod. Pops is a preacher at the church. He called me saying the dude that heard my speaking gave his life to God. I'm a line hot. So I know I'm doing something right. I'm here for a reason. That's why I call myself the jack of all trades because I never put myself in the box. I can do anything God give me the strength and the will to do. You know what I mean? And that's how I approach everything, B.
I can dig it.
You dig what I'm saying?
Appreciate you coming through
Man,
this thing,
bro,
my
I appreciate you, man. You showed me a lot of love. I got to come show the love back.
Yes,
Hot
sir.
107.9. Don't go nowhere else.
Bet it up. Be High Radio Shout. It's Stak 5 on deck, man. It's Hot 107.9, man. Let's go.